I've been waiting to talk to Steven Zinnerman since I started following his IG page last year. He is the owner of the Coffee Enthusiast Brewing Company, a coffee company based in North Carolina. An amazing roaster. He puts out amazing product. I have had the privilege of having his coffee several times. But not only does he put out an amazing product, he takes the time out to share the knowledge that he has gained in his years in the coffee industry. Just a dope person doing dope things, man. I was honored to have him to sit down and chop it up with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Coffee with the Homies.
Um, Honestly, I fell in love with coffee and knew it was something I wanted to do. Probably, probably 2015. I was
Okay.
working at North Carolina State University, and I wasn't doing nothing in coffee itself. I was a barista,
Okay.
part time, while I was working at state. So I would go home on the weekends, and I would work at Starbucks. And then there was this other little shop in Hickory, North Carolina, um, called Tasteful Beans. And I would go there, man. I'd drink coffee, and I ended up, getting cool with the owners, getting cool with all the baristas and everything. The owners, they always were there. And I ended up talking to Scott one day and his wife Julie. And I asked them for a job, and they hired me as a part-time barista at their shop too.
Okay.
And I ended up not really working inside the shop though. They ended up hiring me on to work their farmers market booth. So what I was doing was like just slinging coffee out of air pots and serving they had sandwiches and bagels and stuff like
Okay.
that, cookies. So I was doing that every weekend, sometimes 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, during the farmers market. And then that was pretty much it. Every now and again, they let me get behind the bar, teach me how to do espresso.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I fell in love with it then. And then there's one other place that just solidified it for me was this funny name, man, Smelly Cat Coffee. And it's Charlotte, North Carolina. It's in the Noda neighborhood, which is a real weird, real kooky little neighborhood.
Okay.
A lot of artsy people, a lot of creatives.
Kind of like Austin is down here. Okay.
Yeah. So now you know why they got that weird name.
Right.
I remember walking in there, bro, and it was this dude. This is a black dude. I never saw this before in my life. I went in there, man, and they had this dude in there, roasting coffee in-house. You know what I'm saying? It's literally like the bar is right in front of you,
Okay.
and then right behind you is the roaster, a little red roaster, probably like a five or maybe a 10-kilo roaster,
Okay.
right there behind me in the shop. And he was just going at it, man. I was like, dang, I ain't never seen that before. I've been to shops where I see the coffee, I see the espresso machine, I see pour over brewers, everything, but I had never seen the roaster being, working in-house, roasting coffee right in front of everybody and just basically bagging it right there and passing it over the counter where they could stock it on the shelves. It was early in the morning, and I'll never forget it. And that became my favorite coffee shop in Charlotte. So every time I go to Charlotte now, no matter what, if that joint is open, I'm going.
Going to Smelly Cat.
I'm going to the Smelly Cat. I'm going in that, and it's they real cool, man. Everybody's real mellow. You don't feel out of place in there because everybody weird as hell anyway.
Right.
So it's perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the perfect shop, man. So that made me feel like, all right, this is for me. I want to do this. Like, I love higher education and everything, but I want to do this. So
Okay.
that was that, man.
That's what's up, man. Then what was that transition like from that point to where you are now? Because I know today you're celebrating, I think this is your four-year anniversary for TCE.
4 years, man.
How did you going into that coffee shop and seeing that roaster, what transpired from that point to where you are now?
Bruh, I started I just honestly, I started asking questions. Like anytime I went in there, and I tried to go there often.
Uh-huh.
I would just go to shops, bro, and I would go there too, and just ask questions about, how do you do this? Where do y'all get the coffee from, man? Because I would see those big burlap bags
Right.
in the corner sitting on top of the pallet, or sometimes they have these, sections of like steel shelves, and it's stacked up, crisscross on top of one another. I'm like, man, what y'all, how do y'all get these coffees in? Where do y'all get them from? I had no idea about importers, and as far as coffee goes, I didn't have a clue. And I would just start asking questions, and then I think when we moved to Jersey, it just got deeper. I went to shops in Philadelphia. I would go to shops in South Jersey, Revolution Coffee Roasters. One of the owners, Steve McFadden, he kind of seemed to take a liking to me, and he was one of the folks that I often, would aggravate the hell out of, and just I would ask him questions. I would call him, and he would be literally roasting coffee while I'm on the phone with him, and I'd be like, "Hey, can I come through?" He'd be like, "Yeah, man, hurry up, cause I can't be on the
can't be on the phone."
Yeah, because I'm roasting. He's like, "Hurry up and come through." So I would just go through, and I would just stand in the back with him and just watch him roast coffee. I would watch him make adjustments to the air, to gas, to whatever. And then there was this other cat named Jamie Blanchard from Royal Mile Coffee. I would go and holler at him. He had a roastery upstairs in a co-working space. And bro, I swear it looked like a little closet or whatever, with a sink in it, and like a little 1 kilo, maybe 3 kilo roaster sitting on like a workman's bench, like a metal workman's bench. And then he had like another one across with like all the cupping bowls and spoons. And then in the hallway, he had a pallet where if he had coffee come in, he would lug these bags. And I don't know how Jamie did that for all them years, but he would, because there was no elevator. So he would, yeah, no elevator, bro. None whatsoever. And he would lug these 132 pound bags of coffee. Sometimes even more. They were 72 kilos. That's like, 70 kilos. That's like 154 pounds.
Boy, getting a workout in.
Yeah, boy, he was killing it, man. And he would do this, weekly. And sometimes he would get the little La Bodega bags instead of like the bag behind me. Like that one is I think this is a little smaller. This is only 46 kilos. And then I got another one right here. That's 50 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So he would get them little 50-pound La Bodega bags, and he would just, those are easier to carry. He'd just throw it over his shoulder and bring it up the stairs. But them other ones, bro, I don't know how he did that for all them years. And he would have to come up, at least 2 flights of steps just to get that coffee upstairs.
Man.
And then, crank it up and get the roasting, man. One-man band. And I learned from him. I learned how to just, really grind it out from somebody like him, because he had no help, really. And he has Whole Foods. Whole Foods, I think he's in both Whole Foods in Philly, North and South. He's in a few Whole Foods in South Jersey. The Cherry Hill location, I think Woodbury, or I think that's the name of it. So he was killing it. Marlton, he was in that one, I believe. So I learned from those guys. And then other baristas I got cool with, they would just like, I know they was tired, but they would like, hey, if you come, like, we're gonna close the shop at, let's say 8:00. And they'd be like, if you can show up to the shop around like 6, like 2 hours before we close, and you could just, I'll get you something to drink, and you could just chill until it's time for us to close. And then like maybe an hour before we close, I'm gonna bring you behind the bar, because the owner's gonna be gone. Yeah. They be like, the owner's gonna be gone, and you can just help us, close down, and we'll show you what to do. We'll bust a few drinks out, and we'll just show you how to at least close the cafe. And they would just have me doing, tables, back flushing the espresso machine. Sometimes if it went down, they were like, "Hey, come over here, man. I'm gonna show you something real quick. This is a dual boiler espresso machine, and it's down right now. But I'm a coffee tech, so I'm gonna show you if your machine goes down, I'm gonna show you how to get it back up and running." And they would just show me little things, man. So I experienced a bunch of like non-gatekeeping people. I experienced some gatekeepers, but right away, I didn't really experience it right at first or whatever. I experienced a lot of cats just like showing us love and just showing me how to do certain things. Just, how to tighten up your grind to make a V60 better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you want a more clarity in the cup, this is what you do. If you want to bring more sweetness to the cup, this is what you do. If you want a weaker cup of coffee, if you don't want that, that kick of espresso, a kick of that caffeine, like you would usually get from your cup of coffee, you can loosen up your grind, brew a little lighter. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool, man.
That free game, man, that's essential, bro.
Absolutely, man.
Especially starting out, man, because I'm still trying to figure out where I want to fall in the coffee world. It used to be I wanted to be a barista, and I'm still trying to figure out where my lane is. And one of the things that coffee really and truly and honestly can be intimidating when you first start out.
It can.
Because of the complexities of it, like the science behind it, everything that that goes into it. Especially with you being a roaster.
Yeah.
I know how meticulous that can be, man. Yeah. Were you when you first started that journey, were you intimidated at all stepping into that field?
Yeah, like even now, bro, I'm gonna be straight up. Like I'm still intimidated. A lot of people think, even though I'm roasted on this one small 1 kilo roaster, a bunch of folks, man, they think I'm like this OG, like knowledgeable, roaster. And I know some stuff, bro, but like I still get intimidated. Like even on that roaster, I know how to roast on that thing, man. But once I get a new coffee in, every single time I'm intimidated. I'm just like, dang, I don't know how I'm gonna approach this coffee. I think I might mess it up. I'm still trying to work it out in my mind how I'm gonna do certain things, but it's really nothing to it, man. All you do is just once you jump on there and you start working around things, working around with heat application and working around air control and drum speed. Those are the three main variables, really: heat, air, and drum speed. Once you get a hand on those and get a feel for how the coffee behaves in the drum, you just roll from there. You develop your own style and you get comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With that machine, but then when you get faced with something new, like if you jump off of Aelio and jump onto a Probat or jump onto a Loring or a Gießen or a Diedrich, these are all completely different machines now. And now you're like, dang, I'm back behind the curve again.
Got to learn something all new. Yeah.
Yep. You got to learn how to, do that all over again. And you got to approach, you might have been roasting the same Kenyan coffee, for years, but in a Loring. And now you got a Probat. Now you got to learn how to roast that coffee all over again in that Probat. So it's intimidating, bro, every time.
Talk me because I've never had anybody explain the roasting process to me.
Mm-hmm.
Talk me through your process from start to finish when you from selecting the bean that you want to roast to putting out the finished product?
Okay. I'll say this. Like, say I'm at my computer right now, as a matter of fact. So I'm gonna go to this website and I can just talk you through it like you.
Okay.
So I'm on this website, Olin Specialty Coffee. That's an importer. And you can tell me, let's do this together, as a matter of fact. What do you like to drink most of the time?
I lean more towards the Ethiopian.
Ethiopia? All right.
Yeah.
So let's go to Ethiopia. Let's find something for my guy. All right. What do you look for in those coffees when you get them Ethiopias?
I like the what draws me to Ethiopian is the blueberry fruitiness of it, and a more of a juicy mouthfeel. Okay.
I got one right here already. Boom. So this is Ethiopia. Guji. This is a great one. Washed, but good body. Strawberry, blackberry, peach, chocolate. So that's a juicy body.
Yeah.
Real clean coffee right there. A lot of people, when they drink Ethiopias, that's what they're looking for, just like how you are. Big bodies, but mellow, easily approachable. So I'll, say I want that coffee, and I already got it. I've already roasted a sample of it. They sent me a sample. I roasted it. They had 38 bags. I bought 60 kilo bags of it, spot offer. So now I'm in my roastery, and I'll get another 200 grams, like came in the sample. I'll get that other 200 grams, and I've already logged what I did when I sample roasted it the first time. I'm gonna do that again.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roast that coffee again because it's been a couple of weeks. This coffee has sat in the warehouse for a little while. I don't know what happened in that warehouse.
What happened to it, right?
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to it on the transportation on down from Continental in New Jersey to here in North Carolina. Maybe nothing happened to it, but I'm gonna roast it anyway, and just to make sure that I get that same result, and I'm gonna try to mimic the same ambient temperature, which is the temperature in my room. You know what I'm saying? Like where I'm roasting at. So if my temperature when I roasted that coffee, the sample was, I'm gonna say 75. I want to make sure that it's 75 degrees in the room, because the roaster, and I used to have this question all the time, but the roaster reacts to the ambient temperature.
Yeah, okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? So like if it's 75 in the room, I might, and that's a cooler temperature, maybe I want to heat my roaster up a little longer. So let me give myself a little time to get the roaster heated up. It's going to take me about 20 or 30 minutes for it to heat and get it up to speed where I want it, to the temperature, the charge temperature. And with this coffee, I'm probably going to approach this with high heat. So I'm probably going to heat my roaster up between 392 and 410. Or I'll say 405 for my charge temperature. And I'm looking to drop this coffee within 10 minutes, probably between 405 and 410. And sometimes maybe a little cooler on the temperature. Maybe I want to drop it at 395. You know what I'm saying? But I get that heat up, drop the coffee in the roaster, and that's when the clock starts.
Okay.
All the way from the yellowing or Maillard reaction to browning to first crack. And when first crack comes, that's when I hit my marker to let that roaster know, and the computer in my roasting curve that I'm looking at, that's where I mark my first crack. And my window for first crack is probably, I'm gonna say my standard window, because I don't know how everybody else does it, but my standard window for first crack and dropping the coffee out, if I'm gonna do like a light or medium roast coffee, let's just say I'm gonna do a medium light, 1 minute to a minute and 30. That's like my basic window. Anywhere between that 1 minute and a minute and 30, I can drop it. But I'm taking the trier out and I'm looking at the coffee and I'm smelling it especially during first crack, every couple of seconds, I'm taking that coffee out the dryer, out with the dryer and smelling it, looking at it. How is it wrinkly looking, like almost like a raisin? Does it have a shine to it? Is it pretty dull looking? I'm looking at those things because sometimes those things could be good or bad for me for a particular coffee. But for you, if I want to preserve the sweetness and the body of that coffee, I'm gonna go down on my heat a little bit, and or either introduce a little more air to it so I can stretch out the roast a little while. So I may go to 1 minute and 40, 1 minute and 45 seconds. That adds a little bit more body to the coffee because I've stretched the time, but I've let the heat come down so I won't scorch or burn that coffee up. Because then I done messed up your sugar. All the oils are on the outside of the coffee, so it's real shiny. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I want to drop it at that perfect time. So it's critical to use or control those variables that you can control. And once I drop it, I'm looking at it and I'm popping a few beans in my mouth and I'm crunching them. And I'm not eating them. I'm just kind of like, it's almost like how you would do like a jawbreaker or whatever. You know, when that jawbreaker is soft enough for you to just go ahead
to crack, right?
Yeah, but you don't swallow it right away. You just kind of let it crack, and then you just suck on the juices of that jawbreaker for a minute. I do the same thing with coffee. And I breathe in a little bit so the air can come through my mouth and give me a sensation of how this coffee is going to taste when I brew it or whatever. And sometimes you can tell how it's going to taste. And sometimes it might be just too freshly roasted. It might be one of those coffees where you can't tell nothing. It's muted at first, but a couple of days out, couple of hours out, you can brew it and get an idea of what you're going to have.
What you're going to have. Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty much my approach, man.
Man, and I'm sitting here like, wow, the amount of effort and time and dedication it takes to, because you have to do that for each roast.
Every last one.
That's every last one of them. That's how you approach each roast.
Yeah.
How do you find, we talk about the family and everything like that you got. How do you find time, man, to continue to do that consistently?
I don't. I don't, bro. I'm gonna be straight up, man. Like I don't want to, and I have a schedule. Like I'm looking at my email right here, and what's today? Today is Saturday, isn't it? So yeah. Today's Saturday. Where my Joan at? Oh, I ain't got nothing for Saturday. So let's look at Friday. No, let's look at Monday. I got everything planned out for Monday. Cafe visits, live cast, cleaning the roaster, grinders, and all my equipment. That's from 7 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock in the morning. Then I'll roast. If I have a roasting job, I'll probably fit that in, but usually I don't roast till Tuesday. But on Mondays from 1:30 to 2:30, I'm doing communications like this right here, outreach to different cafes, like trying to, maybe secure a wholesale account or something like that. And then I'll do collaboration calls where I'll call folks. I don't care if it's a cigar shop, barbershop, I don't care if they sell left shoes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling them and see if they might want to do a collaboration with us. I might be trying to keep a relationship going, like say with Mir. You know what I'm saying? Right. This was a sponsorship, but it's also a relationship that we started with this company. So I want to call them. I want to call Godwin, I think he's one of the account guys who got everything set up for us. So I'm calling him. Hey man, how you doing? How your family doing? How's everything going with the company at Mir, man? How y'all feeling? Let's talk about this for a minute. Yeah. And a lot of times, bro, I'm free balling that thing. Like I'll try to do this scheduling thing, And there's a lot that I do keep, like on Tuesday, 12 o'clock meeting with Phyllis Johnson from 12 to 12:40. Then I got my daughter's doctor's, Evelyn's doctor's appointment,
Right.
1:15 to 2:15. So it's a constant, like, you running around. You don't even know where you're gonna be at the next minute.
Yeah.
But you find time, like that's a production day. So I'm roasting on Tuesday at 7 o'clock in the morning till 9:30. So whatever I got over the weekend, and maybe even that the week leading up to that, before I schedule a pickup with the post office, I'm trying to roast all of that, and have everything bagged, labeled, sealed, packed, shipping label created, so I can put that on there. Whenever I get an open minute, I'm doing stuff like that. Or I could be literally in the car and say Phyllis's meeting is at 12, but I'm in the car. Luckily, you got technology in the car where you can attend that meeting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I try my best to do that. Even with the 5 kids, all strapped in 5 different car seats in the back. My wife, you know what I'm saying? My wife like, babe, we getting a little hungry. Can we, pull over somewhere and get something to eat?
Right.
So I'm muting the meeting and, hey, can I get a family pack of your chicken or something like that from Zaxby's or wherever?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's an everyday literal grind, bro. So,
man,
but it works. Sometimes you want more, like, organization, but it's such a small company, and we can't afford like interns,
right?
The people that I really want to put on,
right?
And we don't really know any kids in the neighborhood like that because of COVID. It shut everything down.
Yeah.
But I promise you, I know they don't. I ain't with child labor, but I clear. If I do some of these little churn around here,
hey, they be bagging coffee.
$20. Your mama didn't drink coffee.
Yeah.
If you do this for me, you know what I'm saying, I'll give you this, or I'll pay you that. Just like cutting grass. You know what I'm saying? You want to make some money? Come cut this grass. Hey, you want to make some money? Come over here and learn how to roast this coffee. I'll teach you everything you need to know. And you never know. This might be your next Cameron Heath. This might be your next Aaron Fender, or your next Kay Baconte from Red Bay. Some of these, this might be another George Howell that you just took under your wing. You don't even know. You just gave him a skill. So, but we try to find time, man.
You mentioned that, man. That's one of the, and when I was talking about trying to find my lane, that's when I started getting into coffee, and I really started seeing all of the different avenues and the revenue in these avenues that can be made from coffee. That's one of the things that I would love to do, is because I'm from a little town east of Houston, man, called Port Arthur, Texas. Mm-hmm. The only coffee we knew about was the coffee my grandmother was drinking, Folgers or stuff like that. It wasn't. I coming up, I don't even recall a coffee shop being in Port Arthur. You know what I'm saying? You got your coffee from a restaurant, when you went to something like that. So when I really started getting into it, I was like, man, do you know how many different careers can be made out of this if we just start exposing, people who've never been exposed to this side of coffee? All they know is Starbucks or something like that. But if you really start exposing, especially at a younger age, these kids to, all the different revenue, the avenues and stuff that you can take. So that's one of the things that I would love to do, is just be a link to these, to these kids, to these adults, whoever, man, to expose them, to say, hey, man, have you looked at this? This is entrepreneurship, things like roasting, things like that, owning a coffee shop, being a barista. It's just a skill that you can have that, you can make, so that I applaud what you be doing, man, especially when you go live, the knowledge that you be kicking and sharing with with the internet and Instagram and stuff like that, because you doing it, you're exposing it, man, to somebody who may not have that, that exposure anywhere else. So I applaud that. Definitely applaud you.
Thank you.
Well, I was reading your website, and your wife is a very, very foundational part, an important part of your company. Do y'all, and I'm assuming y'all share the same love for coffee?
Yeah.
Okay.
We share the same love for coffee. We share the same love for serving people.
Good.
We share the same love for legacy, like trying to leave something for our kids to have. So when we get old and we just want to chill at home or whatever, they can take this over.
They can take it over. Good deal.
I can just walk in and just get my coffee from one of my children instead of me having to walk back there and roast and do all of this. I got one of them that doesn't, learn how to do everything. So but for my wife, man, like I gotta be straight up, like she's the glue, bro, that holds all of this together. She's the reason why this stuff even got a foundation in the first place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when we needed a roaster, I was kind of scared to like spend the money on it or whatever, because we had it and we were like, all right, so what are we gonna do next? Are we gonna buy some more coffee from somebody and let it be roasted already and just keep going like that and spending all this money? Because it's actually more expensive to keep buying coffee from a lot of these roasters, because they killing it with these 5-pound bags, man. It's up to $80 at some roasteries.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So if you going through at a cafe or even a small pour over bar like what we had, if you going through 2, 3, 5-pound bags at an event, man, that's $80 times 3. You know what I'm saying? Where you could just buy a little small, and that's what we did. She was like, let's pull the trigger on a little B-more. I was like, you sure? She was like, it comes with 9 pounds of coffee. We got an event coming up. Let's just get it. That thing came in like a week or 2. Came with the 9 pounds. We start burning up everything. Yeah. All the little coffee, man. And then we got to a point where it looked good. You crack it open, it looks good on the inside. It tastes good if you brew it. We was like, all right, let's just keep doing this then. Let's keep roasting. And then we started going on the sites, and we were just buying 5 pounds here, 10 pounds there, of certain coffees that we were comfortable with roasting. And then we start kind of venturing off and doing stuff like honey processed Costa Ricas and all the other stuff, man, anaerobics and all these crazy processes, but it's paid off. Yeah. And we may not have the absolute best coffee in the world, but because she wanted to take a chance on going on ahead and roasting for ourselves, we're here still. Right. When it comes to spending money on the company, period, on anything, labels, bags, stickers, any kind of little trinket we throw in the bag, she's the green light for all of that. Yeah. Because if it was up to me, we would be broke. I mean, flat broke, flat ass broke. My wife is the way that she is. She's on the computer, bruh, and she's like, look at, okay, this costs that, but the same thing costs this over here. Yeah, that over there. She's a bargainer. She's a saver. She knows how to negotiate with these prices. Me, I'm like, oh, $400. I'm gonna spend the $400. I do four, and we ain't got but $300 in the account. But I'm still gonna pay the $4. She's not like that, bro. She is not being about being in the red. She like being black, man. Hey. So that's how I go.
Hey, that's, man, the fact that you found somebody who not only shares your dream, but compliments your dream in a way, that she
Absolutely.
does. That's amazing, man, because everybody don't have it, bro. And for that very
Man,
reason right there, you go far, bro. You got somebody in
man,
your corner.
if God blesses this thing, man, to keep on rolling like how it's rolling, bro, I swear, man, she like you said, we'll go far because
Yeah.
of her, man. Because me, man, we'll be out here buying geishas in Yemen, all these coffees that cost $38 a pound. Man, I'll buy all of it. She like, no, Typica, no
Yeah.
Bourbon. Get that $2.90
Yeah.
coffee right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When y'all picking a coffee, what are you looking for?
Something that's approachable. Something that anybody can throw in any kind of brewer, whether it's a Mr. Coffee or
Yeah.
a OXO Mocha Master, or you doing an AeroPress, or you trying to be, super sciencey with a siphon or something like that. We're trying to look for something that's comparable to all of those brew methods.
Good deal.
And that's approachable to everybody's palate.
Yeah. Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah,
Question I wanted to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I guess I'm looking at this from my perspective. I'm drawn into coffee more by the experience that I have with it.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of cats. Let's say I listen to Questlove podcasts a lot, and those guys are musical geniuses. And
Yes,
I hear them talk about a lot of times, like some of the musical guests they have on and things like that, producers have on. They say they have a hard time, I guess, enjoying listening to music because they're always thinking at it from a theoretical point of view or breaking it down scientifically and things like that. So they don't listen to them. They don't listen to music the same way I listen to music. I listen to it for just an emotional experience.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same way with coffee because you are so in depth in the scientific part of it? Can you still just sit down and enjoy a cup of coffee just for what it is? Or when you drink a cup of coffee, are you constantly thinking about how did they roast it? What were the variables they had in it?
Man, it's crazy that you asked that because I was just talking about that today. I swear I was.
Okay.
I forgot who the hell I was talking to, but I was talking about that. And I had just made my coffee for the morning. And dang, who was I talking to? I can't even remember, man. But I was literally just talking about that.
Okay.
And sometimes I can
just
have a cup of coffee. Like the other morning, I had this right here. Gucci Mane.
That Gucci Mane, yeah.
The Haitian joint.
Okay.
I just had this. I haven't even really talked about it yet, man. Because I didn't really want to. Because it was good. It was something that I was like, first off, this is my brother, right?
Yeah.
It just was enjoyable. It felt good to be able to buy this and just have it and drink it that morning. I ain't want to talk. I ain't want to say nothing.
Yeah.
I ain't want nobody to give me your opinion on
that. Yeah, right.
No, let me sit there and drink this coffee and enjoy it. And I enjoyed that thing. And I just sat back, man, in this chair, and I just chilled. Yeah. I didn't think about nothing about how they roasted that coffee.
Yeah.
But then on other days, depending on how I wake up in the morning or what's going on, like how I'm feeling, or if I'm getting ready, sometimes I do not like to drink coffee before I roast because now I'm going into that frame of mind where I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about approach. You know what I'm saying? So say I got my boy Evan from Elixir, or I ain't gonna do that because Evan taught me how to roast. Let's say I got my guy Brandon, and I ain't even finna diss his coffee because his coffee is fire.
Yeah.
But Brandon is from Bridge City. What if I got his coffee and I'm drinking his coffee, and it's crazy because he has an Ethiopia Acacia that he just sent me. I got that same coffee, right? So I'm roasting that coffee currently for Ferry Avenue. I'm drinking his and I'm getting ready to jump on the roaster in a minute.
Yeah.
So every time I drink somebody's coffee like that, and I might have it, I'm thinking about like, and I'm tasting, I'm like, I see what you did there. He hit it with some heat. He did this. Or he dropped it at this time. And then I'll end up calling them and like, bruh, what did you do to this coffee?
Yeah.
How did you approach this coffee? So I hate doing that sometimes because I just really honestly want to enjoy their coffee and just be respectful. And I know they don't take it as disrespect, but who knows what they might be going through in their mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When they're getting ready, they might be getting ready to jump on the roaster. And here I am with my ass calling and asking how you did this. And so what did you, they might ask me, what'd you taste? Oh man, I tasted this. And they might think I'm bull skating, but I'm not. I'm just being straight, like it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Please don't go and redo your roasting curve because I said something.
Yeah.
So lots of times, bro, I just try my best in the morning to like get somewhere and get quiet. I don't like being near the roaster or nothing.
Yeah.
Or no green coffee. I just put it out of my mind and just drink my coffee and enjoy. I go outside a lot of times on my back deck and just chill back there, man.
Good deal, man. Yeah, that's something that and that I always wanted to know. Like, I mean, with anybody in any craft, like, can they still enjoy it when they approach, from a scientific point of view all of the time? So I know that can be difficult for a lot of people. I mean, and that's with anything. People who make movies, anything, music, anything, they see it. They see it from a different perspective, than somebody who's not in there. So that's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
I even do that with music because I'm trained musically. I've been trained musically ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So if I hear a song, especially don't let it be a cover that somebody made from back in the day, and somebody remakes it, I'm like, I'm about to listen to this. Let me see so I'm listening and I'm hearing things. And my wife, she always does this with me. She'll be like, how did you, I'm trying to hear what you hear in the song. She's not a lot of times able to pick out different parts and sounds in the music because it might be too busy for her ears or somebody else's ears. But for mine, I'm like, I'm picking that out. I hear that. It's the same thing with coffee, man.
It's a gift and a curse.
Huh?
It's a gift and a curse.
It is. It's a gift and it's a curse. Because I'm like, all I want to do is I just want to hear the birds.
Yeah.
I want to hear the wind. I want to appreciate the Lord and what He's doing. I don't want to think about that.
Don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
That's what's up, bro. Steve, man, look, dog, you don't know how much I appreciate you jumping on, fam.
I appreciate you, man.
It's a pleasure to have you on. I'm here to support all things TCE. I got your first bag of coffee. I don't know how long. I know it's been during the pandemic, and I've been a fan ever since, bro. I was so excited when I walked in Through Good Coffee down here in Houston, and I saw they had your bags on the shelf. I was like, oh man, that's what's up. My boy expanding. So I'm here to support in any way that I can, fam. You got a fan for life in me. I'm praying for nothing but big things for you and your family, you and your company.
Thank you.
And one day we'll see TC Coffee in every coffee shop we roll into.
Man, I hope so, man. I definitely appreciate all the support that you give all of us, man, in coffee. And I'm praying the same thing, man. Maybe, this could be something. This could turn into a podcast, bro. This could turn into coffee education.
Yeah.
But from your point of view and under your authority.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this might be your end for coffee, or it could be a plethora of things. You could be a shop owner with a podcast.
Yeah.
And training folks how to do this and that in coffee. So I'm praying for the same thing for you, man. All love to you, my brother.
All love, man. I appreciate it, fam. I appreciate it, dog.